Next on the news, thousands upon thousands descend upon Fifth Avenue to celebrate the man who sparked the light of faith for an entire nation.
265 years of faith, tradition, and pride. I'm Jessica Easthope here at the St. Patrick's Day Parade on Fifth Avenue.
And we got a first-timer. Archbishop Ronald Hicks tells us what he thinks about the world's biggest Irish parade, plus where his family comes from. At another St. Patrick's Day event in Manhattan, they are marching to the beat of their own drum.
This sober celebration is meant to remind parade goers of the true meaning behind the holiday. I'm Katie Vasquez, and I'll have that story coming up.
Plus, a Brooklyn church dedicated a chapel to a former pastor who gave nearly 20 years of service to the faithful of Bay Ridge. I'm Christine Persichetti. Currents News starts right now. It's the largest showing for St. Patrick in the world. Irish eyes all watching Fifth Avenue as the 265th New York City Parade marches through Midtown. But before they marched for St. Patrick, hundreds prayed like St. Patrick, gathering in the iconic New York Cathedral that bears his name for Mass. It was a first for the new Archbishop of New York, Ronald Hicks, who highlighted the faith of the Irish people during the celebration. Currents News' Jessica Easthope has more from Midtown.
Christine, tens of thousands of people line Fifth Avenue to watch the 265th St. Patrick's Day Parade, the largest in the world. And although everyone is Irish today, those who traveled here from Ireland to see this say no one does St. Patrick's Day like New York City.
It's nearly stronger here for the parade here than it is back home.
It's better than the one in Cork City.
Americans do it best when it's anything to do with Ireland.
Ahead of the parade festivities, Archbishop Ronald Hicks celebrated his first St. Patrick's Day Mass as the shepherd of the Archdiocese of New York, giving thanks to the Irish immigrants whose fingerprints are still here.
They helped build parishes, schools, neighborhoods, and communities. They helped shape the Catholic Church.
Archbishop Hicks went on to speak about new waves of immigrants creating their own legacies. Groups Bishop Robert Brennan says are breathing new life into the church.
People coming from all over the world, reviving our faith with a sense of enthusiasm. We give thanks to generations of people who continue to build that up.
Some of those immigrants proud to share one Irish heartbeat. As counties, clans, and councils marched down Fifth Avenue.
I'm from Shanghai.
Colombia.
From the Philippines.
And from Mexico.
Yeah, we're all Irish today, yeah.
And for those whose families represent generations of Irish heritage in New York City, expectations are high to live out their Catholic faith.
Help everyone, help the immigrants, help the food pantries, and help our churches, and keep it going.
St. Patrick himself, someone who was forcibly taken from his home, brought to Ireland, fell in love with a new place, and came back and always gave to it. That Catholic faith that embodied all of it.
Follow the message of St. Patrick. We are people of peace. We are people who love and are united together. And we're people who say our faith is important. And we're not only going to celebrate it, but we're going to live it.
So if it's your first parade or if you've been coming to watch it for decades, every year on St. Patrick's Day, faith and tradition meet right here on Fifth Avenue. In Midtown, Jessica Easthope, Currents News.
Like Archbishop Hicks said, this St. Patrick's Day is a time to celebrate the immigrant story. With Irish, German, and Polish ancestors and time spent living in El Salvador, he says he understands why so many come here in search of a better life. He told us he wants to continue looking into his Irish roots.
I'm 25% Irish, so I'm Irish on my father's side, and one day I have to trace back where exactly they're from and where do they come from in the history. That's something I still need to learn. It's been many, many generations since they came to this country. They helped build the railroads and all those sort of good things that made this country great. And my first trip to Ireland, which was just a year and a half ago, was one of the best experiences of my life. Everyone said I'd love it. It went above and beyond expectations. It was extraordinary, especially the people.
Archbishop Hicks is in good company. All 10 of his predecessors as Archbishops of New York were either Irish born or had Irish ancestry. New York as a whole has one of the largest percentage of Irish populations in the country. According to the research company Nielsberg, some 2 million Irish residents are in the Empire State, about 10% of its entire population. New York City has the largest percentage of that, with more than 376,000 residents. And breaking that down even further, Brooklyn makes up about 102,000 of that, and Queens makes up about 87,000. Speaking of Irish roots, here's Bishop Robert Brennan marching in the parade with County Sligo. That's where his grandfather, Patrick Hines, was born and raised in Dromore West. Patrick was the first in the family to arrive in New York in the 1920s. Bishop Brennan's cousins still live in Sligo and Mayo. His maternal great-grandparents are from Belfast.
I feel a nice connection in Ireland. It's always a good experience to go home, back to Ireland, and the people are just so wonderful. They say, "Oh, you're very welcome at home." They talk, "Well, when are you coming home next?" So that's a very kind welcome.
Bishop said the Brennan side of his family goes way, way back into the mid-1850s. Further down the parade route was Currents News' Katie Vasquez, who reported on another St. Patrick's Day celebration that's looking to break a common stereotype.
Amid the surge of Irish festivities on Fifth Avenue, one group stands out for their take on St. Patrick's Day. They're having a sober celebration that highlights heritage over Guinness. 15th annual event was started by William Spencer Riley, who wanted to steer people away from the holiday's association with binge drinking. This year, the Ukrainian Institute of America is welcoming the festivities to their Gilded Age mansion on 79th Street, which is where the parade ends. Organizers say Ukraine and Ireland are alike in that both share a history of famine, foreign occupation, and unbreakable spirit.
There's a long common heritage and mentality of our peoples. The Irish have been subject to colonial powers for centuries, and the Ukrainians have also been under colonial rule. Our respective cultures have been suppressed, and we are both fighting for rebirth and reestablishment of ancient traditions of our peoples.
Ukraine had a famine 4 times larger than the Irish famine under Stalin, where 7 million people were starved to death. And so the parallels also exist in our dates of independence. They're almost identical. But most importantly, with what's going on today. I mean, obviously, Ukraine is occupied by a foreign country. As with Ireland, the same thing. So I felt this was a marriage made in heaven.
Following their march in the parade, they will continue celebrating into the evening with traditional cuisine and music. On the Upper East Side, Katie Vasquez, Currents News.
A Brooklyn parish is looking forward to celebrating St. Patrick's Day this Sunday. So cute. Those are the kids of Bay Ridge Catholic Academy congratulating their pastor, Father Kevin Abels, on being made the Grand Marshal of Brooklyn's St. Patrick's Day Parade. For more than 25 years, the March in Bay Ridge has promoted the Irish heritage and the Catholic faith. And you can join them. Father Abels will be leading the way this Sunday, March 22nd. The parade kicks off at 1 p.m. at Marine and 3rd Avenue. It'll continue down 3rd Avenue to the grandstand in front of the Greenhouse Cafe, which is on 3rd Avenue. Again, that kicks off Sunday, March 22nd at 1 p.m. Turning now to the war in the Middle East. Several pieces of shrapnel from an Iranian ballistic missile, some as large as 12 feet, have been found near holy sites across Jerusalem. Images show 3 officers carrying a large metal ring believed to be part of a missile off the red-tiled roof adjacent to the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, the belief site of Jesus' crucifixion and burial. There's also been shrapnel found at the nearby hilltop plateau, known to Muslims as the Al-Aqsa compound and to the Jewish people as the Temple Mount. No significant damage to the sites or casualties have been reported. Catholic leaders, including Pope Leo XIV, have been calling for peace in the Middle East. On March 16th, the Holy Father received a phone call from the president of Palestine, which, according to a statement by the Holy See press office, was about the alarming developments in the conflict in the Middle East and the living conditions of the Palestinian people. They also said Pope Leo also reaffirmed the Holy See's commitment to achieving peace through political and diplomatic dialogue. Every year, the Church dedicates their Good Friday collection to helping people in the Holy Land, and the prefect of the Dicastery for Eastern Churches, Cardinal Claudio Gugarati, says those donations are needed now more than ever. In a letter sent to bishops around the world, he said the act of donating money may seem small, but it means so much to those it supports. He went on to say, help us to offer them concrete hope, not merely words of consolation. For we who visit them will leave while they remain with their fears, even with the terror that precisely because they are Christians, they may be eliminated. The first American pope is being honored by his home country for his lifelong work promoting religious liberty. On the eve of the United States' 250th birthday, July 3rd, the National Constitution Center in Philadelphia will award its 38th annual Liberty Medal to Pope Leo. The Holy Father intends to deliver live acceptance remarks virtually from the Vatican. The ceremony will be live streamed via the center's website. Catholics across the country will also be honoring the nation's milestone birthday with a pilgrimage with the theme One Nation Under God. This year's National Eucharistic Pilgrimage will begin on Memorial Day weekend at Our Lady of La Leche Shrine, the site of the first Mass celebrated on American soil in 1565. And the journey will continue through the 13 colonies with stops in 18 dioceses and archdioceses before ending in Philadelphia for the 4th of July weekend. For more information about this journey and all the stops, just go to eucharisticpilgrimage.org. Finally, tonight, a Brooklyn parish has dedicated its Rosary Chapel to its former pastor.
If you have not seen the new Monsignor Phillips Rosary Prayer Chapel, to be used a lot.
That's St. Anselm's current pastor, Father Kevin Abels, inviting faithful to view the sacred space, which was dedicated during a special Mass on March 15th. The chapel was named in honor of the Bay Ridge Parish's former pastor, Monsignor Michael Phillips, who gave 18 years of service to the Brooklyn faithful. Monsignor Phillips led the parish from 1991 to 2009 and was pastor emeritus in residence until the fall of 2025. Now 91 years old, he currently lives in the diocesan residence for senior priests. So nice. That is this Currents News Update. I'm Christine Persichetti. Thank you for joining us because we are putting your faith in the news. Before we go, we want to take one more look at the city's St. Patrick's Day celebrations. Hope to see you again next time.